Hey guys, welcome back to the family function. We're on another episode. I say that then. We have a lot to talk about today, so we're gonna get right into it. So guys, there's a lot going on right now with the Ashley Beaver.
Oh, Hailey Bieber.
Hailey Bieber.
Ashley Bieber.
Ashley Haley.
We're mixing our two topics today.
Yeah. But that's going viral right now.
Yeah.
A lot of a lot of conversation actually going on with what's going on with her. So what's your guys' thought?
Yeah, I mean, like it. So the funny thing is it's been like a thing of discussion for years, and the main gist of it was that Justin Bieber meets a young, what's her name, Hailey Baldwin, when she was like both were super young, right? And that's how they met. And then I think over the years, people have noticed like, wait, is that Hailey copying Selena Gomez? Because obviously Selena Gomez just Bieber dated. And there are people who've been doing like these documentaries or videos of like all these different things of them, like her copying her. Tattoo, same spot, copy the same pictures, even if they post something on Instagram.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like really weird stuff. And even people like to a point where they'll have like videos of like Justin Bieber like out and about, and then they'll spot Hailey in like the crowd and shit like that. It is super weird.
Right.
So people are like, yo, like is she like she's been stalking this guy like as a true fan forever. And that's why there's even clips of like him on the Ellen show, Justin Bieber. He's like, it's like arranged marriage and stuff like that. So, like, what do you guys think of it? You guys like,
that's very interesting because what's your thought? What's your take on
it
that?
is weird because like even too, I remember like I seen like a tattoo that Selena Gomez has, right? She has like a tattoo like the back of her ear, right?
Yeah.
The Hailey, she has the exact same one too. And then I remember there's like some clips that I seen where I think like Justin Bieber was like alive on like Instagram or whatever, and Hailey's like touching him, right? And like just like holding on to him, right? And you could look at he looks so uncomfortable. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I feel bad. And then he even said it too in like one of the live streams, like, it's low-key weird how like Hailey has been in my life this whole entire time. Kind of feels like arranged marriage. And like it's low-key true because like even when like there were kids, like the whole like Beauty and the Beast kind of Justin Bieber, like that old school Bieber, she's been in the game.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So it's like it's weird to me, and like the way how like she kind of like acts and operates, she doesn't even feel like she's like a human being. Like she feels so like NPC. Like she just I don't know. It's like she's only programmed to just like Justin Bieber, just be around him. Like it just feels so.
So
weird.
is there a difference between what I mean? Because one thing I'm trying to analyze is there a difference between obsession or just being a fan, like a super fan?
Well, that's a weird thing, right? Because it's like she comes from obviously a famous family, because like Alec Baldwin and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like she's basically made her superstar fan dream a reality. Because like how many girls it would be like, I want to marry Justin Bieber, I want to marry this celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And like the dead opportunity, and then like you even see some points where some fans are kind of weird and crazy about it because you'll see them like stalking, they'll go to every concert, everything like that. And then she actually made it happen in this like really weird way. And it just feels like every time I see interviews with them, it just feels like, like this girl holding him against his will. Because even as I saw a live video of too where she's like, they asked him like a question like, like would you guys remember your first kiss? Right. And then she was like, Justin, like, do you remember like our first kiss? And he just like didn't say anything. And he's like, well, if you remember, then why don't you say something? I think I'm butchering a little bit, but I was on those lines. And he seems so annoyed. And then she's like, oh, well, just seeing if you remembered it. Like, this guy just seems like he does not want to be in a relationship. Or there'll be times, like, you'll see him, like, running for paparazzi, and then she'll, like, chase after him. Because she's, like, with him, too. And you saw one, like, she, like, tripped.
Like, he was on the skateboard.
Yeah, he's on a skateboard.
Yeah,
he was on a skateboard.
And then she starts chasing after him, and she fell.
Yeah, she, like, fell. And it's like, paparazzi got on the camera. I'm like, this is so embarrassing.
So when you say that, it sounds like, what I mean, there is a pattern. Because when you want to talk about, what I mean, like, obsessive person, you know what I mean? You're looking for, like, pattern.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the way you're just describing it is that obsession basically, is another technical way of saying follow.
Yeah.
But basically, you know what I mean? the person is unaware that you're following them, and they didn't give you consent.
Yeah.
That's where
it's like an obsession, like stalker, honestly.
Right. So you know what I mean? Is she borderline? Can we just say is she actually like a legit bona fide? You know what I mean?
But it was also weird.
Stalker slash, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what it feels like. Yeah, like it's just it. I guess the weird thing is, I feel like if it was a normal girl in per se, it would everyone would kind of be like 100% agree. But it's just kind of weird a little bit because like you're from a famous family. But she's also not like the Alec Baldwin's like daughter. Like I forgot the other brother's name is, but like so she's not like the guy's like daughter. You know what I mean?
Oh, she's not biological.
No, Alec Baldwin's her uncle, so it's not like that's her dad. So it's not even like it's not even like like your dad's the famous one, right? Where it's like sounds weird. So it's just like you're kind of like I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like you're kind of a nobody, but like you're not at the same time. And then like here you are, kind of like
it's kind of like you're following the footsteps of a shadow.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So you're like, yo, I'm gonna get married to this guy. Like, I think this girl was like,
wasn't he the one that introduced her to Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
He made it happen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know what I mean. It went from that, you know, because you be excited, like, you know what I mean. I have like a famous, you know, dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and he introduced me to like somebody like my fan.
Yeah.
That in itself will be enough. You know what I mean. But from there to like you're saying, you know what I mean? It goes from the tattoo and even the fact that Selena Gomez had a ring.
Yeah.
Right? And then she ended up got a tattoo of the same ring.
No, that's weird.
It's just too like on the nose like similarity.
Too much.
But the things too what's also weird too is like if Justin Bieber already knows how weird she is, why would you get married to her and then also have kids?
Well, that's a weird thing too. That's why it's like
that's where it gets
because I'm sure he's seen it. Like these videos, like these documentaries on YouTube have like millions of views. Yeah. It's on TikTok. It's everywhere. Yeah. So there's no way he's seen it. I think even recently too, because it's obviously in the news again. And I think he's even said like, "Yo, you guys got to chill," because I think it's like really affecting her, right? But it's like. Yo, like she needs to explain like why is it too coincidental? Because there's one thing, the media will twist things, and it's it's a bit of a far fetch, but it's like so clearly obvious that yo, tat for tat, you're copying this girl.
I wonder if Selena talked about it. I feel like Selena probably talked about the whole
I think she should. I think
she should.
Why is she avoiding the whole situation though?
Who, Selena?
Yeah. It seems like she's not really trying to directly call her out. You know, and
though, like they dated like for so long, so it's like, what's the point of really like bring up an old ex, especially with Benny Blanco? And on top of that too is like, if you're gonna talk about her, it's gonna kind of bash your career and stuff like that. Because Selena's doing good now, like she's. Well, I think she has a fiance, and she's their fiance.
They're engaged, yeah. They're engaged right now. She has a makeup brand.
On top of that, she has her own brand now. Makeup brand. She just dropped a new album.
Yeah,
like things are going good for her. Like why bring that back?
Hailey, for some reason, Hailey cannot get over Selena. You know what I mean? It's like she mirrors her in every kind of way she can. Even Selena tried a cooking show. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
She went out and started.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
Even after the fact.
No, it's weird.
You know what I mean? So is it like? Is there a point where it's like too much is too much? Do you think she's at that point right now where she's just like, okay, it's too much now?
Yeah, and that's the funny thing because it's like for us looking in, it's like it's too much for us, but it's like Justin's the only one that can really say that in the day. But it's just
shouldn't he say something about that though? Shouldn't he
that's the way? Yeah, he doesn't address it. And I remember like there was a point Selena did address it a few years ago.
Yeah,
but it was only because like the internet was trying to like pit them against each other, right? And Selena's like, I'm not trying to like get into like pitting against her or something along those lines. And it's just like, I don't know if Hailey does it because she's seen how much, because like when Selena and Justin were dating, like, it was a huge thing, right? Like, obviously, like you have a star of like one of the biggest like Disney Channel TV shows on the time, right, exactly. And then you have Justin Bieber, like global sensation pop star. So those two are dating, and then now she feels like she has to fill this void because everyone keeps seeing like you see all the time in the comments too. It's like, yo, like Justin needs to get back to Selena, like they should be together. He was so much happier.
Like, their fans truly believe that they're meant to be together,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're always trying to like, come on guys, give it us like a second chance, right?
So I don't know if it's like subconsciously she's like, yo, I gotta like show them, and then she feels like the only way she can do that is like to be Selena Gomez in a weird way.
Right. So it's almost like she's trying to replace her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, because of the biological makeup, that's
Yeah.
not possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But is there a point where we should say like she's mentally like unstable?
That's honestly, no. That's honestly what I was
Like,
thinking. That's generally
you know,
what I was
like
thinking.
the
Yeah.
vibe is there. You know what I mean? The physical, all the action. I mean, she has so many like habits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That reflects, you know, like a person of mental, you know, like distress or something. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
need to put her into like a mental asylum, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
like,
Yo.
right?
tweaking,
But is
bro.
it healthy though? Because like she and Justin Bieber, they are married right now. To be honest, you
And they
know?
have a kid.
They started a family. So how do you like? How does Justin Bieber deal with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she possibly still have some mental, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's-
suffering from all that stuff there, you
Yeah.
know? But yet still Justin got to deal with that because like, yo, this is my wife.
It's a
now,
girl.
You know what I mean?
But he also just seems like he doesn't love her. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem like he's into her. So that's like it's so weird because like
I don't like I'm saying like it doesn't feel real. Like I don't know. Like
yeah.
But you
just
know
feels
what?
like-
It was funny. Like the first time, there was one time when Justin Bieber took a photo, and she was in the background. This was like 2008, something like that.
Yeah.
When like he was first, you know, on the scene, and then in the background, she just had this look of really like distress, like you know, a stalker.
Yeah.
Like she just had this like dead. You know what I mean? Just no energy, just like
I think I know what you're talking about.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I wish I could pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just creepy, you know.
Yeah.
It gives you creepy vibes, like you know, I'm stalking you, like you know what I mean.
That's what it that's what it
And
seems
it's,
like.
crazy.
So it's like there's times I even came up with conspiracy theories in my head. I'm like, yo, why is this guy in this relationship, right? Like, yo, you're Justin Bieber, you're like one of the most famous people on the planet, and you're with this girl that's like clearly like stalking you. Like even if you didn't know it at the time,
Yeah.
But then like I would have just maybe watched it, and if I saw that, I'm like, yo, this is kind of like weird, right?
Chris definitely had to go on his phone, bro. Like,
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it was viral. I mean, everybody's talking
That's
about
what I'm
it.
saying.
I mean, they even had like, didn't they have like a big super fan following for Justin Bieber?
Oh yeah.
And apparently, she reached out to the person who created that following, and she wanted to know everywhere Justin Bieber was,
Yeah.
the hotels,
crazy.
you
Yeah.
know,
I've been
everything
knowing that.
she
That's
wanted
crazy.
to know.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
like, isn't that like a step too far? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That
Is it
is.
borderline super fan, or is it like obsession? At this
It's obsession. You know what it reminds me of?
I say it's both. No, that's kind of both. Like super fat, and you're
Well, I
like
mean,
mad
if you're an obsessive person, you're beyond a fan at this point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
'Cause you know-
well, that's what you have to like define like super fan, right? Because like someone could be a super fan of someone, but not like stalk them like that. You know what I
Right, you know
mean?
what I mean?
So then, like to your point, it's like
You-
you've
you
crossed,
kinda like
you've crossed over from
Exactly.
super fan, and you're like now I'm
crossed
stalking
over
kind
them.
of like a stand, kind of like a
Right,
stand.
there we go,
Honestly,
there we
go. Yeah.
pretty much like a stand.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like you know what this reminds me of? I don't know if you guys ever seen like the TV show You on Netflix.
Oh, where the guy chased.
Yeah. So have you seen that, Charlene?
I seen that before.
No, I heard about it.
Yeah. So anyone hasn't heard of it before, basically it's about this guy, and his name is Joe Goldberg, and he basically sees
What a
this
name.
girl. Yeah, I know. And the show's like a lot of like his internal dialogue,
Yeah.
but he sees this girl and he like falls in love with her at first sight. And you think everything is normal. You think it's like a normal love story,
Yeah.
but he's actually like obsessed and like crazy. So, like, spoiler for season 1. I mean, the show's season 5 is about to come out. So if you haven't seen season 1, sorry, but it ends up with him like basically like keeping her captive in like the bookstore that he runs in like a cage, because like you know she wants to leave the relationship, he doesn't want her to go, and it's just that kind of level. And he's always stalking her and stuff like that. And that's what the vibe I get from her. That's why even sometimes I feel like conspiracy theory wise.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, because he's really sick right now, right? Like
Right.
the whole big thing is like everyone's like, yo, is he okay? Because he looks real and healthy.
Yeah.
I think he has I don't know if it's leukemia or something like that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right,
he has that. So he has a lot of like health issues right now. But
right, something that has to do with his face being like some kind of disease that affects
yeah,
his face.
yeah, and he had that another year or two,
Yeah,
a few years ago. And then people, that's why I'm like, yo, my head, I'm like, yo, is she poisoning? You know what I mean? You know what
Anything could be possible,
because that's why he's not leaving, right?
Right, anything could be possible. I mean, like, but that show that you watched, right?
Yeah.
So in that show, did it end? Was the story the ending? Was it? Did they get together? Did they get married and have kids?
Can I tell you what? I'll tell you how the season one ended. I'll tell you how season one ended.
But I want to know because I need to like compare, like, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you how season one ended. And I'll tell you all the seasons ends.
Yeah.
Every season ends because he always has a new love interest every season.
Oh.
That's crazy.
You know what ends
It
up?
never stops.
Yeah, you know what happens to his old love interest for every season?
He kills
He
him.
kills him.
I call
He kills him.
That's crazy.
He kills them.
See, it never ends.
Yeah,
There's never a happy ending.
because they tried to escape.
Obsessive person.
Yeah,
Never.
they all try to escape. He's like, nah, he's like, no, don't go, and he ends up killing them.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Can we say she's an obsessive person, right?
She's
because
like- I'll
you know,
say
you think
she's
about it. If it
sad.
was a reverse role, right? If it was Justin Bieber, she was the famous one,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
And-
he's behind bars.
That's
No,
what I'm saying.
He's behind bars. Yo, you cannot be. You're a guy doing that. You're behind bars.
Behind bars.
You're
To
behind
get away
bars,
with
dude.
this.
Every
No, for
single
real.
article, Justin Bieber stalking
Right.
this
Yeah.
girl.
He's
been locked up.
Crazy super
You know what I
fan.
mean?
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Friday
done.
night, 5 p.m.
Right.
Just
you know?
Yeah.
Everything is just
done.
done. You know what I mean? So it's like, how is she able
Which is
to
so
pull
weird
this
to me
off?
though.
And apparently they're saying like this was her 10-year plan. So,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus,
Can you
Blue Hole
just
Blueprint.
imagine?
How useless?
Like,
How
who's
useless?
doing it here? You know what I mean?
How useless are you in life that your goal is to just marry a man? It's so funny. You see like a lot of women where it's like, yeah, like my purpose in life is not just to marry some man, and it's like, yeah, like that's totally fine. Like be your own person
But
and like
it's
have your
not like a
aspiration.
movie though, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm
like
saying.
10-year plan, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like there's this episode, and then we're gonna like figure out what's the end.
Like
It's
you
gonna be
can't
like-
lie. This whole like situation could low-key become like a horror movie. Honestly,
It's like that movie with what was that with Beyonce? Remember that? I think it was called Obsession or something. Remember
Yeah,
she has her
yeah,
husband,
Obsession, yeah,
and then
yeah,
a
yeah.
white girl was trying to get with the guy and she's trying to kill them.
Jennifer had one too. Enough.
Yeah. But that's what it feels like.
But it never ends.
Yeah,
It never
ends.
It's never good.
But
right?
but here's the you know I will be honest with you though, because like maybe honestly the fact that you plan this and you achieve your plan, she's the ultimate planner. You can't deny that. Yo. If I was her, I wouldn't even be. I would not even be. I wouldn't go into the makeup business. Be like a public speaker, like a coach, and go do public speaking, like how to get your. Yeah, that's an insane
That's what
plan.
I'm saying. To plan that out for 10 years
And achieve that.
drop
and
books,
she's
all that.
consistent. Like, I mean, every hotel she knew where he was. You know what I mean? Every photos for some way somehow she's popping up in the background.
Yeah.
Like she's always within Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
But isn't that? But the other thing you would think about too, though, right? Yo, if you're her parents, wouldn't y'all be like, yo, like what's going on? Like where are you going? Like your parents are like, yo, every single time you're like, I'm gonna go to the hotel. Why are you going to the hotel? Just what Justin Bieber's gonna be. So is their parents just was encouraging this?
That's what I'm saying. You know, there's one time I think I saw he tweeted the dad. He said, you know, let's just pray for her, pray for Hailey and Justin, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, why didn't you step in and say something while this was going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why didn't you? And another thing too is like, how much did this affect Selena Gomez? You know what I mean? Like, how much? Because they were together, then they broke up.
Yeah.
Then they got together again. You know what I mean? And then imagine breaking up. You know what I mean with Justin Bieber and finding out that there's this girl that's stalking him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, how does that play a role? Because the internet was all over this.
Yeah.
The internet saw this, you know what I mean? Everybody was saying, she's a stalker. She's a stalker. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, it's like, from Selena Gomez's standpoint, like, how did she deal with this? You know what I mean? Because she didn't say anything. So, for the longest period of time, she kept, you know, on the quiet. So
Yeah.
is there a reason why she didn't say anything, you guys believe? Or it's just like, she just felt like just wasn't importance at the time?
I feel it's just a lose-lose situation, right? Because like you like Deontay said, I think you said that earlier, right? Like you look crazy, like trying to be like, yo, like she's always been stalking him, stuff like that, and like then you just sound like a hater because you're the ex, and then now he's with a new girl, and then you're like, yo, he's always been stalking him, she's crazy. So I think she's just always trying to distance herself from this. She also probably just wants to move on from it, right? But obviously, like the internet's just like, yo, you two should be together,
Right.
and it's like, yo, she's crazy and stalking this guy, like, and it's just all this, and it's like, at some point you have to respond because like you're a celebrity and like all the comments, everything you see, everything being tweeted at you is just all about this. At some point, you're like, yo, we gotta move on from this. I want no part in this. I have nothing about this. I'm happy for them. Just they need to do their own thing. You know what I mean? So,
But okay, let's talk about what did you think guys think will be the outcome? You know what I mean? Now they're married and have kids, right? She got what she wanted. What do you guys think now? Do you guys think like she's at the point she's like, okay, I got what I wanted, you know, we're moving on?
No.
Or do you guys think this is like she's gonna keep like trying to mirror her? You know what I mean? Sort of like keep trying to like portray herself of Selena Gomez?
Yeah.
Or do you think like she's gonna finally say, okay, guys, you know what? I want to just rebuild myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think that's gonna happen?
No.
Why? We'll talk about that.
Well, I mean, look how far she got now, right? Like, yeah, like the thing is, too, me personally, I want to stop because, like, think about it. You already secured the bag. You got it. You got what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
You're married to him. You got the kids, right? But then knowing her, like, clearly, I feel like there's something definitely mental wrong with her, and like, I guess this is something that she wants to presume in or whatever. But it's like, knowing her is like, I guess this is like the character you kind of developed. I feel like she's gonna keep rolling with it.
Yeah, like like to your point, Nancy. Like I don't think there's a way you can't go back.
You can't go back.
You can't go back now
because this is what the image that you inputted out there. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really go back and be like, okay, now I'm gonna stop, because then people will be like, oh, why is she stopping now? That's sus.
Yeah.
And then now people are gonna keep digging into that to find out.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, and she also apparently did the same thing with like the Jenners, Kardashians, right? Like she's friends with like Kylie Jenner and like and was Kendall Jenner, right? And apparently she did the same thing in terms of just like being where they're at to become their friends, and they're friends now. But like when you have someone like that, you don't really have much to go back to. Like, yes, your uncle's famous, but like you yourself isn't doing anything. You yourself couldn't start a makeup brand. You could have done it, but you're not really starting a makeup brand without Hailey Bieber, because that's the only way you became super known. Because we didn't know about Hailey Bieber until they started dating Justin Bieber. So you can't go back now, because then you almost in a way revert back, and you lose the brand that is the star power of Justin Bieber behind it, right? Because you're like, oh, like that's Justin Bieber's wife, like that's crazy. You just become his ex, and you kind of fade into the distance.
That's what I'm saying. Because like, think about it, right? Like, let's for example, they break up or they get divorced, whatever, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, she's screwed. Because if you really think about it, she's depending on Justin Bieber. And then before even she was with Justin Bieber, she had nothing going on with her. She didn't really have a career.
You guys don't think she can be independent?
No.
After this whole...
No, think about it. If you could be independent, why were you not independent before? Think about it. If you want something, right? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you depending on your partner or whatsoever, right? But at the same time, I feel like you would have had a career or already had something going on for yourself.
But they did say she kind of had like a makeup brand.
And it didn't do well.
Oh, it failed.
It didn't do well.
It so sells. Like I even like asked Nikisha about it. She says like a lot of girls buy it now apparently, but obviously not the same level as Selena Gomez's brand, right?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, the thing is, if she was to leave, or just was to leave her, the only way forward she can go is if she goes the route of a controversy. Like she goes on like a podcast, start bashing him, or does something crazy, like a Kim Kardashian sort of thing, right? Because the thing about Kim Kardashian, like she only got famous because of what she did. Right? Like that's what I'm saying, right? And like your dad was kind of known a little bit because like, you know, you represented OJ in the infamous case as his lawyer, but like outside of that, like you don't really have much, and she kind of had to continue that going, right? You dated celebrities, you dated Kanye, and then like, you know, you built up on top of that, and, you know, so that raised her popularity a lot more. And then she divorced him, and then now like, you know, she still has her own things going, and she's now so established enough that like she doesn't necessarily need Kanye in a way of to be like relevant. She has her own like Skims, all these different things going on. She's pretty thing in the media, but Hailey, you don't see that because you're only just famous because Justin Bieber, nothing else. Other than now you're being the stalker, but so like that isn't a good thing for you.
But can we still say that she's a stalker now? She's married to Justin Bieber, or do we have to like really think about what we're saying? Because you know what I mean. It's kind of almost like mastermind, you know what I mean? Like the card she's playing, it's almost like
she's like 10 steps ahead of
she's painting a picture of like an obsessive person, you know, a stalker. But now at the ending, you know, what I mean, she's married, having family and everything. It kind of like, you know what I mean, portray herself as just, hey, you know, it just happened, right?
Yeah.
It's just something that you know, it just happened that she ended up marrying the guy that she always wanted to be with. You know what I mean? Maybe she's not a stalker. You know what I mean?
Okay, but
maybe
then
she just
there's no okay, but I feel like that's what she's gonna try to do. Be like, oh, you know, I'm not stalking. It just happened, but there's no coincidence
Yeah.
that each goddamn concert or a hotel, you just knew he was there or you're just there. There's no
Yeah.
It's like you had an air tag on him.
Yeah.
Like there's no coincidence.
And like the fact you're a lot of there's so many videos and pictures of you in the background.
And I'm saying, there's
like
no
they
coincidence.
point you out, and it's like she's there a lot of times. So it's like it's just not by chance.
No
You're
coincidence.
actively
That's right.
seeking to be there, be around him.
and the constant mirroring of Selena Gomez, the tattoos, you know what I mean, behind the ear, the tattoo on her ring finger, you know what I'm saying, the cooking shows, you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of times you see interviews, stuff that Selena Gomez, you know, said in her interviews. She said
The same thing. Started to make a brand right after Selena started hers.
Exactly.
Like
So you know, like the pattern, you can't deny the pattern. You know what I mean? The pattern is what you're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
pattern that tells the person's character. You know what I mean? So so now I'm thinking, okay, do you think that it's one of those stories that is inspiring? You know what I mean?
No.
A girl, you know what I mean, was a
I mean,
super fan,
it's
and
definitely-
then now she
definitely
marries
going to
this ain't no Disney
you know what I
film.
mean?
This ain't no
Is it
I feel
one
like-
of those like Disney stories
I
now where
definitely-
it's like a happy ending, and we're like,
It's definitely
wow,
going to inspire.
It's gonna inspire
It's
young
going to
girls,
inspire the young girls because think
and they
about it,
will see it
like
as an obsession. More
okay.
of
I mean, I
a
feel,
Disney story.
it definitely feels like a Disney story. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, what Disney show are you watching, bro?
Bro, you can't lie. You can't
What Disney
lie.
show are you watching
can't-
where
you
the
can't
girl
lie.
stalks the star
What?
and get with them? What? Tell me.
What?
Go.
Bruh, catch up. Austin and Alley.
Austin and Alley is not
It's
that.
not Disney, but like, bro, you can't cap. Like the whole entire time she was looking just like wherever this guy Austin was.
They became friends. She didn't stalk him.
Yeah, but like you can't lie. The
And
way
she
how
wrote
she
for
was-
him. That was the whole premise of the show.
I
She
guess,
would write and he would
I guess,
perform.
but, like,
So he would always go
but
to
there's
her, and she's like, "I don't want nothing to do with it."
There's different
So you can't
shows,
even
too.
know. Name one another show.
Wait,
Keep-
hold on. I'm trying to think.
Dude,
I don't know-
there is
no,
none.
I don't think if it's Disney though. But there's plenty of shows like that.
Tell me
too.
what show.
Bro, goddamn, you can't cap Victorious, bro. Victorious, you
Who
can't
on
lie.
Victorious is stalking the other person?
Bro, what's her name? The sister. The sister. What's her name? Tori's sister, bro.
Oh,
You can't catch. She used to
I
be
never.
stalk-
Who's she stalking though? Who's she stalking?
Bro, wasn't she not stalking like Andre and Bucky, the other guy for a minute?
No.
Like, one episode she was.
She wasn't.
She was.
For like maybe one episode for
That
a
still
plot.
counts, though.
That doesn't count, bro.
man.
There's no show you can tell me that even happened. I even think of a show like remember Starstruck with Sterling Knight.
I don't think about that.
That was a Disney show, and then like he was a celebrity, like a superstar, and she only bumped into him, and she wanted nothing to do with him. This would be, I would agree with you if it was Justin Bieber pursuing her, and then she was kind of like, she was like, you know, like she's normal about it, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that she is pursuing him as a
Right.
fan, and you're not even like famous in a way, like the dynamics is different. You know what I mean? Like, so like
yeah.
it's not a Disney type of movie channel where it's like, what Disney show are you watching or movie where
Bro,
you see the
there's
girl
definitely-
stalking
there's
the guy at
definitely
every
has been.
concert?
yeah,
There definitely has been.
Nah, you need to, you need to get names.
I can try to find.
You need to
some.
find
There definitely
names.
Has been.
You need to
There
find
definitely
names.
has been, and you can't count too. Even too. Remember that one show, the next step. You know, sometimes, bro, those freaking love stories in that crap in that show was low-key weird. Remember
That's
that one
different.
girl?
Sure, yeah, you can
That
say
one-
they're
that one
weird,
girl?
but it was never someone stalking someone to the level she has stalked this man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying until this point where Hailey, that type of stalking, but in those type of shows, there's a bit of stalking. You can't lie.
What? Yo, tell me.
I
what-
will get a
we
note.
should- we-
I gotta find a
Yo, we should ask if you
No,
guys
if you
know
don't know,
any
put it in the
Disney
comments, bro.
shows.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah,
I
put
know
it in
I'm
the
not
comments.
tweaking.
Okay?
I'm not tweaking.
Share it. Any Disney
not
show,
tweaking. I'm
any
not tweaking.
character you guys know, right? Put it in the comments.
Of
Let
course,
us know.
of course, it's not gonna be that known. Because think about it. Why would Disney want to show that to the young people about stalking, right? But there's definitely a few shows that have that.
Nah.
Yeah,
I guess.
Not,
I guess.
not Disney show.
I mean, the
guess.
producer must be really.
You
like,
could. I've seen
Disney.
Disney.
Too. Bro, High School Musical.
Bro, what are you talking
High School
about?
Musical.
Yo, what? You're not
Yes,
watching this. Yo,
yes.
this guy's not watching.
Fam.
This guy's not
Yes.
watching actual Disney movies.
That's
This
not
guy's on
Disney.
some like
That's not-
different like
that's
bootleg
not- I know
movies
it's
he's
not
watching.
Disney, but bro, you can't lie. Remember that one girl that used to stalk what's the guy's name? The main guy. She used to be mad bougie. The girl.
Oh, Sharpay?
Yeah, she used to be.
You mean the
mad-
black guy when he like cooked?
No, you know that one girl. She was being mad bougie. She had like a twin brother.
Yeah,
Right?
Sharpay. Yeah.
Her. She used to stalk the main guy. Though that used to play basketball, not the brown guy.
And did they get together?
They never got together, but she
Exactly.
Though. I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to say. Though.
They didn't get together.
because she liked the other guy though. She liked the other. Man, she liked the other
No,
girl.
because after she realized like, yo, Troy and Gabriella are a thing, she stopped stalking.
That's what I'm saying. Because he wanted the other girl. That's what I'm saying. He didn't want her.
Yeah, but he was not gonna get with her. Even in the second movie, when he was like kind of like warming up to her, when she's like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you like I know people who play in the NBA or whatever scholarship, all the other nonsense." He still went back to her. There's no TV show or movie where this girl stalks the celebrity or someone they want and they get with the person. There's no show like that, especially on Disney.
I would like to know. You know what I mean? That would be. Really,
I feel like there's
interesting.
one.
I've seen like the early 2000s like Family Channel movies where it's like there's the girls and they're crushing over the celebrity, but they don't get with them because it's just like they don't get with them. They don't get with them.
Like,
They're just like they're like and they realize they realize crush them. They follow him around.
No, like
they don't
the
get
high
with them.
school crush.
Yeah,
I've seen.
and it's like her and her
that.
best
I know
friend going to
that.
venture trying to meet him and shit,
Right,
and he
right.
doesn't meet up to their expectations and nonsense.
Right,
But there's
right.
no scenario where it's like you get the girl stalking the guy and then she gets with him.
Yeah, this.
That's
this
weird
script
as
is
hell.
Totally new, man.
Yeah.
This is totally like this script here is like nobody expect this one, and the ending is just like you want to talk about epic, man.
Talk about
Drink water?
The Ashley person.
Water.
Oh, Ash
Ashley
Trevino. Yeah.
man,
She's
she
a wild
is
one.
very interesting, very interesting. So you know what I mean, like compared to Hailey Bieber, she's her situation a little bit different. Because she's like,
Very different.
what we say, like social influencer.
She is a social influencer, but her influencing, like, I don't
It
know,
is.
like, she's
it's
weird.
atrocious, man.
Yeah, so I mean, like, when I like looked into it, right, it's like she's an influencer that goes a lot on like live
TikTok.
streams, right, and TikTok.
Yeah.
And her whole thing is that she talks to like prison inmates, right, and
Right.
where she's like getting to relationships with them, and like these are people that are killed people. They've been charged for murder. They've been charged for sexual assault.
Yeah.
All different charges, and I think what makes it so even worse is because she has children,
Yeah.
and her children are the age of some of the victims that these men have either killed or sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And there's a point, she's bringing her kids to the prison to meet them, or they're coming over to the house and interacting with it. And this is like one of the cases of like where you see like these influencers or people trying to be influencers. They use their family to be part of it, and it's in an unhealthy and dangerous manner, especially with herself.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys talking about like her living condition for the kids, right?
Yeah, like and honestly, I wasn't paying too much attention to, to her. To be honest with you, but you know what I mean. Like my girl keeps like every day she would say something different about her. Like like people that are watching her are like actually going against her because apparently her daughter, the living condition is so poor, right? And
It's like an air mattress,
bed
right?
bugs. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
she was on the one time she was and there's like actually a bed bugs and she
While she was
played
like
it
live
off.
stream?
Huh?
Like while she was live?
Something like that. She was actually recording, right?
Ugh.
And then you can see like one of the bed bugs crawling around her head, right?
That's
And she
nasty.
like
That's
played it off.
nasty.
You know what I mean? And they're saying like the fact that she doesn't really look after her kids. The fact that they go to school and they get bullied.
I didn't know about that. No, I didn't know about the kid
They
side.
get bullied because she's going viral for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? And she's actually another thing too. She liked to date young boys.
Yeah. What was that guy's name? Santos?
Yeah, Santos.
What that?
Yeah, 19.
apparently
He's like
he's
19.
18,
Yeah.
19, yeah.
Yeah, apparently they're on live feed and they're doing some inappropriate things.
Yeah, because I think that's how the whole meme was. He see my new something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole meme. So I was like, what? That's where I know her from. The whole like that meme. She see my new. I seen his meme. I was like, what? I'm like, who is this?
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. And like, she's actively said to like, oh, like you guys can call CPS if you want, like Child Protective Services.
But apparently they've been called like
yeah,
numerous of times.
Really? And they didn't do anything?
No,
it's been done, right? You know,
that's crazy.
I think there's like certain requirements where it's like they have to live in a safe, and it has to be a safe space, and they have to have access to a kitchen. On top of that as well, like the kitchen has to be stocked with like healthy food. But it's funny because like she even said like she'll go to like grocery store and like spend like $800 and just buy like
junk food, all
just
that.
bare junk food and stuff like that,
and just DoorDash and all that food.
Yeah.
And
it's just like, and this is the thing, like if you have like if you want to go date prisoners or do any of that like weird stuff, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
Sandals guy is 19. It's weird, like she's 37. Whatever, but then when you have kids involved and stuff, that's what makes it different and weird, right?
And I think that's why the internet is going at her so hard.
Yeah,
it's like two things. The internet could be crazy, you know what I mean? Like, the internet will come after you. You know what I mean? And the two things that I think, the reason why the internet is really going after her is the fact that the condition of their kids.
Yeah.
How is that you're on social media and making an income? Right, but the living condition is so bad for you.
Yeah,
and then the second thing is that with young boys, you know what I mean, like borderline pedophile. They're saying, you know what I mean, like what is going on here? So I think this is why the internet is really trying to get her canceled at this point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they're making all types of mean jokes. You know what I mean? After like every day is something new with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like at this point. What do you guys think? Do you guys think like she should maybe just like give the internet a rest? Do you think it's at this point it's an addiction for her, a getaway for her, or it's almost like okay, she just don't care?
Yes and no. Like, yeah, like I wouldn't mean that the internet does kind of like a big part of it, but me personally, I feel like you gotta balance reality and in the internet. Like, you have children, that's your main priority. Is your children, especially too if you're making a big income and you can like invest in that to your kids.
Yeah,
like there's got like CPS got to do something, or like someone got to fight for custody for the kids or something like that. Because like
that's the problem. Yeah, because like the dad, like the biological dad, has passed away.
Oh, I didn't know
because they had leukemia. And it's funny because like the kids even actually asked the mom not to talk about it on like stream or live, sorry. And she still did because mom just made it about her, right? She's like, what if it was me and that sort of stuff. But like my question is like here's the thing, like she's in America. I think she's in Texas, right? I think they said she is. And I'm like, is she truly? Regardless, I think she's delusional. Regardless, but the question is sometimes is like, you're on the internet, you're this influencer, and it's like, do you know this thing is wrong and you're still doing it anyways because this negative attention will draw eyes to you, or she's just truly this delusional? Because when it comes to America's greatest export is entertainment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like, at what point do you do this? Because it's like it's insane at this point. Because I'm like, lock her up. This is what you got to bring back insane asylums. Like, there's no way you're letting this woman walk around.
On what terms would you? You said lock her up, right? So what and who can go after her at this point, from a legal standpoint?
Well, like Texas, this is my thing. Like, if you're like Texas Republicans, right? The whole big thing is like, like we're not messing with child trafficking, and child predators, stuff like that. It's wrong. It's messed up.
Yeah.
And then you have this woman who's in your state and who's like, oh, I'm having my kids around these criminals that have been convicted, and like the poor living conditions of the children, and like you're so actively doing it. And to your point, it's like, it's one thing if you don't have money, but she does have money, and she's choosing not to spend it on her kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't have the custody of the kids, and you're now a danger to these children.
Is that like a child neglect? Like, you know,
Yes.
you feel you like.
I would say so. Yeah.
Because like think about it, like you can't even look at anything or like make sure the like living situation is good, but then you can be ordering bare food and DoorDash like every day.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Because they're not in a. They don't feel like they're in a safe environment.
Yeah.
Right? With the constant, strangers that she's bringing around her kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is very dangerous, right? Because I don't even think she really know these people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, at what point, you know what I mean? You use the term delusional,
Yeah.
right? But does it go even more than that? You know what I mean? Is she mentally ill? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
I would say so.
or she doesn't even know how to basic parenting. You know what I mean? Is that another thing too? She's lacking. You know what I mean? Parenting skills.
I think it's basic parenting, but I think even individuals though who may not have had great parents growing up, but they don't understand parenting. But there's at least the basics you understand where it's like, how do I keep my kids safe and like provide them a space where it's like it's clean, healthy food to eat, things like that, right? To be taken care of. But then like she just completely neglects that. And at that point, like if you're choosing to do that, maybe give up custody of your kids. Maybe give them a state. And I know it's shitty. I know foster care is terrible. It's not the greatest, but it's like at some point it's like better than being in that kind of condition at the end of the day. And that's the problem you see with a lot of these. I don't like influencers that involve their kids. You see the parents that are like, you know, the mom, it's like, hey, like, you know, we're going on a hike with the family. And like, you'll see videos of like the kids that clearly in pain, neglect, whatever. And they're like, look after your kid. But they're like, no, stop crying. Like, keep on, let's keep going. Because the camera's right. And it's like, yo, I'm surprised that isn't illegal to do that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I know like in the States it has, I forgot what it's called, but for a child actor, right? If you're a child actor, your parents have to put away a certain percentage of what you make for when you're 18. So it's basically so the parents can't spend all your money, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like they need to start doing that for these kids, because if their parents are going to use them as a way to make money, they need to be compensated in some way in the future, because those kids are going to turn 18, be on their own. And then for what? You're traumatized, you've been neglected, and you got nothing from it because your parents are shitty, because they just use you to make content.
Right. Another thing too. Do you think there's can we say there's some mental stuff happening with her, because she's a mother, right? But she doesn't know how to be a mother. You know what I mean? like from based off the actions that we're seeing, right?
Yeah.
The conditions, you know what I mean, that they live in, the environment, and the strangers she's bringing around, and the inappropriate behavior that's going on. You know what I mean? And you have and your kids are complaining that they're getting bullied at school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't like to be in the spotlight. You know what I mean? They don't want to be seen. They want to keep their life private, right? So you as a mom now, right? And the fact that it's almost like she's a grown woman. She has a grown woman, grown body, but she has a child mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like, you know what I mean? Is that a mental? Can we say like she's not fully
mentally ill? Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think anyone would deny that. I mean, she's clearly mentally ill, and just like her thought process and the decisions she's making, like it's just so strange to me when I just like looked into this. I'm like.
Yeah.
These are the things you're doing. Yo, listen, like whatever, like date whoever you want to date, right? But it's like as soon as you have kids involved, like that's different. Like if you're gonna like, as long as you're not, I don't care if you're, as long as you're not impacting somebody else. But now it's like you're impacting your kids because you clearly cannot take care of your kids. Why are your kids sleeping on an air mattress, but then you have money?
Yeah.
Insanity.
Yeah. And this is my question for you, Deontay. From a social media standpoint, right? Influencer standpoint. Do you think like she should maybe stop now? Because do you think like other social influencers are taking advantage of that? Because she's doing interviews without being seen with OnlyFans,
they're definitely
influencers. Do you think like they're really taking advantage of her now?
They are,
and not being genuine.
They are, because with a lot of influencers nowadays, like there's only one thing they truly care about, and that's either money or keeping their brand going, right?
Yeah.
And think about it, right? With this Ashley person, you know, she's like I want to say like she's like, she is pretty like the most known talkative thing right now on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, if you're pretty much like, let's say for example, like you're right now, let's say for example, you're pretty much big, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not that big, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to tap in with you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then on top of that too, is gonna kind of help her too, right? Because then now you're saying what, just some OnlyFans influencers that want to reach out to her, right?
Yeah.
So then now, who knows? Now she might go on that path too, right?
Yeah, but she has.
She's on that path too now. Jeez.
She's been interviewed by.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw like a lot of like interviews.
What her name was, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, but she said she helped purchase like actual proper mattresses for kids and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But that still, you know what I mean. There's other people that are trying to take advantage of the fact that she's going viral.
That's exactly what it is, right? Because like at that point, you're just bringing more attention to her, right? So you're just trying to ride that wave of like controversy. And I'm like, hey, listen, that's smart with the interview, dude, because like I think if she just interviewed her and did nothing for the kids, everyone would be like, yo, you know, like, why are you giving this woman a platform when she's doing all these like messed up things?
Right.
And then her saving grace is like, oh, well, at least I bought the kids mattresses. But like legitimately, like you don't necessarily care, because if you did, you wouldn't give her a platform, and you could have still just bought the mattresses for her for those kids, right? But it's bad, right? And that's the thing where everyone's like, you know, and it's what they say, right? It's like any intention is good intention, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people can think you're a piece of shit, but that's great because they're gonna want to look more into you.
But as of right now, me personally, I feel like she gotta get canceled. Like they gotta like at least like, I wouldn't say ban her account, but at least suspend her account for a while or something like that. Because like I'm not.
But do you think like we're feeding? You know what I mean? Like we're putting more gas, adding more gas to
for
this.
sure? Because
You know what I mean? As because we're constantly talking about her.
Yeah.
We're constantly bringing her up.
Yeah.
We're constantly saying how much, making fun of her.
Yeah.
With all these memes, but. You know what I mean? Is that actually helping?
It is, because you can tell.
Or is that making it worse?
It's helping her because you could tell from the jump like she doesn't care.
Yeah.
So think about it. If someone that doesn't care is being talked in like a negative way, you're gonna just keep feeding onto that. Like, okay, you know, you're talking about me, you're saying this and blah 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 blah. You don't really know the real me. I'm gonna just keep doing me though, because I know if I press this like button right now and still do the same ad, you're still gonna watch.
Yeah. But see, I mean, it's also an interesting question, right? Because like, you can ban her account, and I'm assuming
I think TikTok is looking into doing that too.
But
it wouldn't make sense too, because then even if they ban her on TikTok, she probably just go on a different platform.
But let's say this, right? Imagine she got banned from every platform, right? It's kind of messed up, but it's like you ban from every platform, and it like hurts the kids even more. Because then you drop all of her revenue income, and then it's like now she really has nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of messed up, but it's like. And like right now it's shitty because like they're still eating like garbage food and like not a great living condition.
Yeah.
But then you really pull everything out the rug, and now it's like, oh, now they're on the street and they're not eating anything at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then even too, we don't really know if like they're still truly safe since we don't have that much updates or info with.
Exactly, right?
I see it now.
Yeah, and it's like, and then it's like the other thing is like, okay, well, you do that, they don't have anywhere to live. Do they go live with one of these guys that she's, you know, dating?
Hell no.
And that's even worse, right? So it's like, it's so messed up in a way where it's like, I think the only option at this point is like, they really have to take those kids away from her.
Right.
You take those kids away from her, and then everyone just cancels her at the end of the day, because like those kids are screwed if they stay with her, regardless if she's canceled or not. So you just have to take the kids away. It's surprising to me that she still has custody of her kids.
Right. You know what I mean? And the evidence is there that she is shown some type of neglect.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I mean, I've been, that's from my understanding, they've been called several times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no action has been taken.
That's bad too, though.
What else do you need? You know what I mean? What else do you need? What kind of action you still need for you to take some type of legal action against her? Like, what else do you need to see?
Well, that's
what
curious.
else needs to happen?
Well, so I'm gonna check actually.
Hurt? They need like how? What's the level? You know?
Because I would have thought like, okay, if they already know they're not in a good living situation, I'll tell that too with inmates. That's instant red flag to okay, you know, like move them out. But
I think they even try to run away. You know,
the kids?
Yeah, I think they try to even run away. You know what I mean? And so it shows you it's really affected them too, right?
Especially too if they're getting bullied at school, like
right, it's mentally affecting
like
them.
That might bring them to suicidals.
And you know, they don't understand a lot of things of what's going on. You know what I mean? because again, you know what I mean. It's one thing if maybe they have other relatives,
Mm.
you know what I mean. They could maybe support them at the time.
I mean, they're living
But
with their grandparents right now, no?
are they?
I believe so. Yeah. I think
Okay,
they're
so
living with their
that's good then.
grandparents,
At
yeah.
least you know what I mean. That's good. That's what I'm hoping. Like, you know, maybe a family relative needs to step in and maybe like become their primary support line right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because right now the mom is clearly
Not doing anything.
Yeah.
right.
So this is what I found right now. So if, this is for Texas. So they can do it as if there's immediate danger. So CPS can remove a child if they believe the child is in immediate danger, meaning there's a present danger or serious harm to the child in the home. Another one is abuse and neglect. CPS can remove the child if there's evidence of abuse and neglect, including physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, or if a child is exposed to domestic violence. And the last one is unsafe living conditions. CPS may intervene if a child is living in unsafe conditions, such as lack of food, water, or electricity.
But that's pretty much what's happening with those.
So there's like two requirements that I've seen like she's really that meets that
yeah.
you know, for them to take action.
Yeah.
The fact that the neglect situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mentally, obviously, they're suffering from it because they're getting bullied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Her business is out there that she likes to deal with dangerous people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And underage guys, right? So there's that danger.
But you know what I feel like it is though? I feel like the only reason I'm playing devil's advocate, because I do agree with you guys, but I feel like they're gonna say the Texas CPS people are like, well, there is food, maybe not healthy food, but there's food, there is running water, there's electricity,
Yeah.
the place is dirty and clean, sure. The bullying is not because of the mom, it's because it's a byproduct of the mom's actions, but the kids should not be bullying her in school, so it's not the fault of the mom to get the child taken away. The school has to take care of that. And then it's like, let's say the Santos guy, right? They're like, well, you know, he's out, he's been released, he's not on any thing list. It's up to the mom to decide that, and she feels like he's safe. That's the only thing I'm thinking of where, like, that's the reason they're not having to take those kids away yet. I don't know, like the very basic level, and they don't go into like the nuance of like, yes, sure, they have all those things, but there's a deeper level of neglect and lack of safety for these children on a deeper level. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
one of the criteria I'm hearing is the mental abuse, right?
Well, yeah, but the only thing is though, you know what it is too, because then there was also a clip where the mom, because the daughter was I think it was the eldest daughter that said to the mom like, "Oh, look how cute this guy is," which was a Santos guy, right? And then you know the mom, you know, she was on live with Santos and the daughter is like, the guy's like, "Oh, how do you feel that your mom took me away from you?" And then you know she's like, "Oh, how does it feel like you go balding?" So it's like, you see the daughter is interacting in this, so they may just say like, well, like she's playing a part of it, like she doesn't seem bothered by it, right? Seems to be enjoying it some way, but it's still really weird that like this is still going on.
I mean, like, yes, you know, you made some really good point, you know what I mean? And like we are all watching this, right? We're constantly watching this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in our face, and we're like, you know, something has to be done about this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But sometimes it's kind of funny how the law, you know what I mean, really doesn't really like in this situation here, you know, when we lay out, okay, there's this criteria and that criteria. Why haven't they done anything yet?
Yeah.
But yes, and then you say, well, the law doesn't really specifically cover that area.
yep,
You know what I mean? Because there is no physical. We didn't see no physical abuse.
yeah,
Right? And you don't know like if they're participating. And you say, okay, well, her getting bullied at school it's not a domestic thing.
it's not a byproduct of the mom. You know what I mean? Like it's like
It's
this.
actually
The school should take care of that because the kids shouldn't be bullying her.
right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So I get what you're saying with that, but isn't there like actually a thing where you like, okay, it's starting to look like something bad could happen.
Yeah.
So maybe you know.
Well, that's
maybe we should
that's
do something so it doesn't happen. You
That's
know?
well, that's
too late. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
well,
know what I mean?
that's the fortunate thing about like the law and these sort of things,
Right, it
right?
doesn't
Because
protect it, right.
because they're only take action when it does happen,
Right,
and that could
right,
be too
right.
late. And that's the problem with the states, right? Because like, if the states is very litigious, right? Like it's very easy to sue. So I think like in Canada here, they probably would have taken action here because it's like we're not going to let it get to that level, and it's like the more nuancing of it. But I feel like in the states, the government doesn't necessarily want to. The state doesn't want to get sued because they're like, we don't have a legal ground yet to follow to remove these children. And their eyes, that's very streamlined. Whereas like the mom can come and sue the state, right, and be like, "Yo, like you took my kids unlawfully." And I get the state, right, because like we're not gonna like lose to that. And sometimes you even, I'm sure she might even want that. I'm sure she would love for the state to come and actually take her kids, and like nothing is actually proven on one of those criteria that have happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it's like those guys that you see like in those audit videos, right?
Yeah.
Where they'll go to like a government building and they're recording, and then or they go to police officers and police stations like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, I'm just recording. It's my constitutional right." And they want the officer to arrest them or tell them to leave because then they end up going to sue the police station and then make a crazy bag from that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's something she would probably love to do. And then you just embolden her even more. I not only did they take my kids away, I sued them, got more money, and then I'm sure she'll continue on this, right? And it's unfortunate now the kids are going to be the ones to suffer because it's going to get to a point where something bad might happen. I hope it doesn't, but it's looking to go that path.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, we just laid out basically why the state may not be able to step in.
Yeah,
When we talk about certain legal grounds, right?
yeah,
But also we're talking about, but the situation is still there. You know what I mean? The behaviors, right?
yeah.
The neglect. So it's like, what? How do you solve the situation?
Yeah.
If we're watching this,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? How do you play a role? How do you play a part in making sure that you make sure something happmes positively rather than negatively, right? You know what I mean? That would be the next thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I feel like you just have to draw eyes away from her. And it just sucks. Yeah.
That's what I feel. And I think that's what they try to do. I think they try to reduce her followers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, by canceling her. But for some reason, it kind of made her still go viral.
Yeah, she's still getting donations too from her followers.
Right.
It's not gonna do anything too, because like I said before, right? If they get her off TikTok, she's gonna keep moving to a different platform.
Yeah.
She's gonna go to Instagram or Kick, Rumble, Like she's
And some of these platforms, like you said, it's very lenient, right? So they're not really gonna care as much.
Yeah.
So what platform is it? Like, what's the one that everyone says like you get kicked off Twitch, you go to?
Kick.
Yeah, Kick, right?
Kick. They don't care.
Yeah, like it's like you get banned from like Twitch. It's like you go to Kick because that's like
they don't care.
They don't care.
I remember one time I went on Kick to see something, just to see like what the deal with Kick. Somebody was live streaming him in a police chase. This guy was in a whole police chase running away from the police. And he was recording it, and they don't care. And he was still able to live stream that. I'm like, this guy is in a whole Mustang driving from the cops. And he's live streaming it. I'm like, how?
Yo, that is crazy.
Do that on Twitch, instant ban.
Yo, you're an active police chase. You're live streaming
I
it.
could bring it up. I'll show you guys. Like, it was so weird to me. I'm like, this guy's literally him and his friends. His friends are outside with the camera like this. He's like, yo, Chad, look at this. And you see like there's like 5 cops, like cars, like
Yo, these kids nowadays are crazy with the internet, bro.
Reckless,
This is
man.
weird.
Yo, you're getting chased by cops, and you're like, let me stream
I remember
this.
like I looked next week to see if he got banned. He's still streaming.
Yo, they're so unconscious, man. Like they don't care.
They don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, like the thing to be famous and a streamer. I remember this was this one black guy on TikTok. It's Wolf something. You know what I'm talking about, Nancy? Have you heard of him?
Where he goes around, he like harasses people.
He just harasses people. Yo, so here's the thing,
like
right?
he went, I think there's a one clip where he went to Japan and he was being mad, like disrespectful in Japan, right?
No, it's a different guy. He went to Korea and he was doing that. But there's a guy in the States. Yo, there's just videos of him like just harassing people. So for example, there's one video he goes to like a laundromat and he waits till the guy walks away, and you know what he does? He takes like a carton of eggs, puts it in the washing machine and raw bacon. And there's another one, he goes into McDonald's, he knocks the girl's like food out of her hands. And there's another one where he what's it called? He went to like a gym and he got like a bungee cord and like tied the gym doors together so they couldn't leave.
Do you guys think like some of these skits, like not even like say skits, but some of these videos, right? Do you think like these guys are playing characters? You know what I mean? Do you think like they're in on
some of them are, yeah, some of them are like I think like yeah, like he's just doing that because he's like it's gonna draw clicks, right? Like because he ended up getting arrested because he went to
no, but I mean like the people that they're doing it to. Do you think
no. Well, sometimes sometimes where it's like you're doing that, but I feel like with the ones you see them being like shit disturbers, like this guy, they're not, because it's like you go and like he sprays pesticide or something on like fruits in the Walmart, and that's what got him arrested and like charged and stuff. And then like like what's his name, Jack Doherty, so he, some small white kid, loser guy, he goes around and he harasses people. But he walks around with his like, bodyguard.
Right.
And so he'll like bump into people on purpose. Someone's like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing?" And then his bodyguard will step in.
How did you get famous and go viral off just doing stupid
because
stuff
that's
like that,
what
you know what I mean?
That's what media is nowadays. Like, if you really peep it, media is just all for drama and negativity energy. Like, you really blow up from the drama. Like, that's why, like, if you really think about it, like, look at Fuzi, for example. This guy's still irrelevant because all he really surrounds himself with is drama. That's what people feed onto, which is like, if you're just gonna keep harassing people or just, it's not even being harassing, just if you look stupid and you're making a fool of yourself, people are gonna keep clicking onto that.
Well, that's the problem. Like everyone's like trying to one up each other, right? And you know what the problem is with this stuff? Like it's I think a lot of it started like in like early like 2010 to 2013 with like all those prank videos. Remember?
Yeah.
And it was like you watch prank videos on YouTube and it was like fun and harmless. And it actually was pranks. And then it just started elevating now to where it's like you're not even doing pranks anymore. These are legit just crimes.
And what's actually making this fueling this and making it, more and more people get involved is that you can get paid. Financial backing. There's a monetary backing to this. You know what I mean? Like if you can capture certain amount of numbers of people that watch it, you know what I mean? You get, and then when you see, like, say you get like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, the numbers start going up. You know what I mean? That energy. People are feeding that energy to you, and then you feel like you can't stop. You feel like it becomes like a drug.
You get that adrenaline.
Impulse,
it's an adrenaline rush,
And then you start thinking of more creative.
What's even bad too is majority of the fans too, because like sometimes too, what they'll do, like they'll get their fans into it too. Like they'll be like, "Oh yo, Chad, what do you guys want me to do?" And then somebody will donate like $100 to be like, "Oh, it's like they'll do like," because usually what they usually do, they always do IRL. Like in real life streaming, right? So let's say I don't know. Let's say example, I'm downtown and I'm streaming live, and then let's say example, you'd be like, "Oh, yo, Tokyo, I need you $100, and you don't need $100 to go push this person on the road or something like that." Like people do that because money's money, clicks to clicks, and it's sad to me because like you're paying someone to do crimes.
But that's the thing, right? Because you have to keep one-upping it, because then you have to keep the attention, right? And it's like it's gonna draw eyes to people, and it seems like they do this as like a pathway. Because it's so funny, because that's the point you made, right? It's like, are this actually a character? And for a lot of them, it is, because you're not really like that, but you do it. You drop fans, you drop streams, and then you lead them to a path of like, now I'm a live streamer and I'm a streamer on like Twitch or whatever, right? And then you chill out. You're not that person anymore. Like I think like a good person like Gideon, for example. Like he didn't really do like crazy shit, but he did like a lot of like kind of prank and stuff in Publix, right? And then like he doesn't really do that stuff as much anymore, but he's more of a streamer. So you kind of you get a big audience, and then you lead them to what you really want to do as a streamer in that way.
That's not even bad too, right? Because like you could start your platform from something else, but like if that's not what you really want to do, or does not really give you that much like average like viewers or whatever, you can change it. Like for example, like same thing what you did with Gideon, right? He started from pranks, and then he went to streaming, then he kind of got closer to God. And then even too, what's a good example, Martin Boot Gang.
Oh yeah,
Boot Gang, remember?
The one with the tattoo.
Boot Gang. Like he was mad. He was wild. I remember in like high school when I was like in grade,
he was wild.
Like 9 and 10. Like he was the biggest topic on World Star. Man's out here stealing cookies from Subway and stuff like that.
Watches still.
Yeah.
Boot camp, all that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, doing all that, and then it got him in trouble. He kept getting arrested. You had people coming after him. I think he got shot once, and then he's like, "Yo, this is not the life for me." And then he changed himself. Now I think he changed it into like his real name. Like I think his real name is like John something. And like, he got closer to God.
Very spiritual.
Yeah, he got spiritual. He got closer to God. He got baptized, and then he was dating Wolf Vicky until they broke up. So it's like I like when they change their characters to something good.
Yeah.
But a lot of days now is like once you have a character, you keep rolling with it. Like for example, too, like Actual Speed, bro has a character.
Yeah.
Bro definitely has a character. He still rolls with it because it got to where he is now.
Yeah. Because it's a viral thing, right? And that's the thing. Like I think back in the day, it's like you had to. You get viral because you have talent, you're good at something, and it can draw attention. Yeah. But now a lot of these kids are like, I don't necessarily have something of value to the world. Yeah. Something I can do is entertainment, and so the way to entertain, I'm gonna do something that's like crazy and like insane, and just draw a lot of eyes and attention to myself, which works because I mean, heck, like we watch it, we talk about it. You maybe even follow to see like, yo, what are they gonna do next? Like that was insane what they just did.
So and that's why my next question is very, I think, interesting. Like, so when you like, we talk about like, a lot of them start out just to get attention, right? But it's like, how, what's the end game,
right,
for a lot of these guys? You know what I mean? Because you talk about they got to one up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do the next thing, right?
The next thing, right? So it's like, okay, on the 13 video when it's like, how do you keep, wanting up the next thing? And is there a point where it's like it gets boring, repetitive? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just got to keep doing stupid thing, and then now it's like almost like it's taking so much of it out of your life.
Yeah.
It's taking so much energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do you think like this is like a good longevity thing for all these guys?
It's definitely not, but like you said, right? Like, when you keep doing it, like on the 13th video, it's gonna feel repetitive, right?
Yeah.
But then I feel like the one reason why it doesn't really that much like repetitive, because it's like, all right, probably from like the 10th video, I'm gonna usually ask my community what they want me to do, right?
Yeah.
Because majority of like
because you kind of run out of
ideas. Exactly.
Okay.
So then it's like, okay, if I'm running ideas now to the point where like, what am I gonna do? Let me ask my community what they want to give. And then also too, I feel with like all this like characteristic kind of like people doing now is just like, okay, let's see how far I can get with this content until I get arrested or I get banned or something like that. That's I feel like what it is. Because like even if they
keep pushing the borderline,
boundaries, because like even if they get banned off the platform or arrested, right? Their name is still going. They're still getting good clicks. Because too, I remember, I don't know his name, right? But there's like I don't know if he streams on Twitch. No, he streams on Kick now. I think he got his Twitch banned. But like he does like the same thing that Jovan was talking about. Like he'll go out, harass people. I remember he went to Japan, and Japan, like they're mad polite, they're mad nice, right?
Yeah.
I think he went to like a 7-Eleven, right? Well, like the girl was about to close. And he got himself noodles, right? And like like the instant noodles you like put in like the cup, whatever, all that.
Yeah.
He pours all like the gravy juice on the table. He just starts throwing. He starts taking the noodles and starts throwing it everywhere, right? And then the girl's just there and the girl's trying to like close up and clean too. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he starts being racist to her and stuff. And then he gets arrested.
Yeah.
And then you would think, okay, you got arrested now, and now you're free. You're gonna stop. Bro does it again in a different country.
He's in Korea now, right?
Yeah, he went to Korea, and then
he's arrested now in Korea.
And then I think he went somewhere else too. I think he went to like London or something like that too. He just goes everywhere and just does it, and he's known.
Yeah.
So like, what does like how powerful is social media? Like,
it's powerful.
Like, you know what I mean?
But it's like
to his point. You know what I mean? Like you did in one country.
Yeah.
Right. Then there's repercussion.
Yeah.
Right? You had to face those repercussions.
Yeah.
Then you didn't learn your lesson.
Yeah.
And you do it again.
You got another chance.
Yeah.
You took that opportunity to go do it in another country, right? So at this point, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, how powerful is social media? And like,
it's extremely, but then like they're gonna stop doing it because watch what you're gonna probably see now, because that same guy, he's arrested in Korea right now,
and they're holding him there.
Yeah, they're holding him there, and they're trying him for like 20 years, or it's like something more than that. Yeah, and he's even at the point, and when he was doing that shit in Korea, people, there's like some app, and they're basically like putting a bounty on his head. So like what it was is like not to kill him, but to like if anyone in Korea they saw him, you beat him up, and then they would donate money. So then you would have like a lawyer to represent you if you got like arrested.
I see that. Like every Korean person was like looking out for him to just like harass him.
And then there's even the other guy in the States too. It was like some streamer. I don't know. He was in the mall and he was like harassing that guy. He was like an Uber driver and he was picking up food and he kept harassing him and stuff like that. Yeah. Uber driver's like, "Yo, leave me alone. Like, leave me alone, please." What happens? The Uber driver took out a gun, shot him, killed him. But guess what? Sucks. No one felt empathy for him, and I think the driver didn't. He wasn't arrested. Like they detained him, but he didn't go to jail because self defense. He kept bothering, harassing him. He told him to stop, and he took out a gun and shot him. And I necessarily don't feel bad because guess what? You can't do that to people. And you never know what happens, right?
Yeah, sure.
And that's what a lot of people are starting to learn now. It's like, yo, I'm gonna go to prison, or I'm gonna get killed. Especially in America, like you can't be doing that stuff in America. In some states too, where they have guns like that, you can't be doing that stuff, man, because it's not worth it. For what? For a few clicks and then you get killed.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I'm trying to understand. You know what I mean? Like, and also too, you know what I mean? Like you're doing all these stupid things, and people. It's not like you're influencing people. They're just being entertained. You know, for a short period of time, and then they move on. They forget about it and move on.
So someone else comes and does something.
That's what I was gonna say too, because like with like entertainment now is like it's not to even like inspire these generation of kids now. Like it's really not. Like everything's just clicks and clicks and clicks and just entertainment. Which is like I feel like there's nothing wrong with entertainment, but I feel like it's also kind of sad to the point where it's like you can't even like reach out to the kids and like kind of inspire them and like. You know, kind of be like that role model for them in a way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I gotta give flowers to like Kai and Sanaa, the EMP. You know, those type of people, like Corey Kenshin, stuff like that. Because like a lot of like generations, especially with me, like I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of grew up watching like Dashie and Corey Kenshin, and like it kind of inspired me to kind of like start streaming and stuff like that. Right? So like I like that when they give you like inspiration, but like nowadays in this generation, there's no inspiration. It's just clicks.
And that's the thing, right? It's just like a fast transaction sort of thing. Because to your point, it's like there's no longevity there. Because then it's just still someone else comes along, does the same thing or more. And then like you get swept under the rug. And then what do you have to show for it? Well, I've been locked up. I've been in jail. I can't get a job now. So you really screw yourself over. So it's like you don't bring any value to people entertainment-wise except for this thing you're just doing crazy. So it's a stupid game.
They don't even see that because it's in a moment, right? The fame. And maybe the like I said,
it's an addiction.
Back into you know, you see, you're getting so much money.
It's their adrenaline rush.
It's a dopamine, right?
Before, right? But now when you start seeing like your action has to be, you gotta one up the action that you did before, and it's starting to endanger your life. Like you said,
but it's so stupid. It's so stupid to me too, because like you clearly know your consequences, yet you're still doing it. And then it's the fact too is like, okay,
but can you be blinded though?
I mean, you definitely are.
It's a dopamine, it's dopamine. How you're like,
you get the money and the fame, of course, like, why stop, right? Why stop, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, at the same time too, it's also like inspiring these other kids to kind of do it too, because then now like you kind of start seeing other streamers doing the same thing, where it's like copy and paste now. And then it's like, okay, this streamer now he got arrested for doing it, but then there's gonna be a next kind of like clone that does the exact same content.
And that's the thing, right? It's even like, I think like Mr. Beast. Obviously, Mr. Beast didn't do anything crazy, but he started off as like a Minecraft YouTuber. And then he started doing like challenges, stuff like that, right? And then that's what kind of stuck, where it's like, I'm going to say Logan Paul, like, name how many ever times till he like sees or something like that, right? And then the same thing with these kids, where it's like, you find something, you do one thing, you post it, and it hits. And you're like, oh, this is what they like. And you keep doing it. You got to keep doing more and more. Because the dopamine in your head, you're like, oh, I'm getting attention, clicks, likes, whatever. And then you're not thinking about the consequences. You're like, yo, I got to keep this feeling going. It feels good. And then it stops when you realize, like, yo, I'm arrested now. Or you do something so horrendous, everyone's like, yo, like, you're going too far.
Help you out, you know?
Exactly. You're not going to get it.
When you step on the the legal side of it, you really see like there's no one there to really help you out.
They're not going to donate for you.
And everybody that was in your corner are now gone because why? You're being sucked dry financially. You know what I mean?
It's either you're locked up or your blueprint is cut.
And I think, like you said, for Boom, what was his name? Boom Dot. that guy there that changed his life, became spiritual.
Boo Gang.
Yeah, Boot Camp,
Yeah.
right? For a guy like him, you know what I mean? He just realized it before it was too late because he was there. There's a lot of time. I've seen a video when he was just out. You know what I mean? Like, like frozen. You know what I mean?
Like he was awesome.
Right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. You can just feel it. Like, yo,
You feel
this
bad.
guy is
You feel
gonna.
sad.
He's gonna. Something's gonna happen bad. Gonna
Yeah.
happen to him, you know what I
And
mean?
like the things too was like speaking of, like that whole thing too. Kodak. It was something with Kodak. Like he was like that before, but he wasn't like that bad. And then he kind of tried to go back to like the whole spiritual stuff. I remember when he went to like rehab. He was cool again, and then now look at him again. He's like off something. Like I remember, like I seen a video not too long ago where this guy's eating chicken on the street. And people just recording him eating chicken on the street.
Yeah.
Like,
But see, that's the problem though. Like
sad.
you have the guys like this where it's like, also like they're surrounded by like their friends and like, and they're like encouraging this, and then like no one in their crew says like, yo,
They
like
don't say anything. That's
like
the same
chill,
thing.
like yeah,
That's the same thing what happened with Juice WRLD.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
bro got they too lean. His people be like, like he'll be like, oh, pour me a 4, and they'll do it. And look what happened to him. He's gone.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing too. What I like with Eminem, you see,
Yeah.
he was a drug addict, and you know he changed his ways. He's not a drug addict no more 'cause for his kids, like for his kids that he has now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and that's true, right? That's a good point because like I'm sure a lot of people on this team are like, yo, friends around him like, yo, like clean yourself. Like you're good at what you do. Don't mess up. And that's the problem because some of these guys are just in it for the money. They're like, they see you doing this stuff and you're like, yo, this is a quick bag. Like he's gonna pay us, right? Yeah. And then it dries up when the guy dies. But then you have someone like Eminem, for example. It's like, yo, like cut off this. Like I truly care about you. It's not about the money, and then get you off of this sort of stuff, right? So it's crazy.
Sad world, bro.
The question is, you know what I mean? Like, is it important to be balanced? You know what I mean? Like it's almost like saying that yin and that yang.
Yeah.
Right? Should there be a balance of just maybe some spiritual balance? You know what I mean? It meet the physical and you know what I'm saying, and all that. Should you be balanced on all levels? You know what I'm saying when you're doing these things because like you talk about, you know, you said dopamine.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you know what I mean? People are like saying, hey, you know, we want to see more. Give us more.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? It's almost like when you're, like, say you, and then you have a bunch of people around you just, you know, cheering you on and egging you on. You know what I mean? It becomes hard not to, you know what I'm saying, entertain these people or fall into the trap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that dopamine, it kicks in.
No, it really does.
And it blocks your, you know what I mean? It blocks you from thinking logically a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It does.
And this is what's going on with a lot of these influencers, right? You know what I mean? They're in a situation where they're being, like you said, they have to invent the wheel.
Yeah.
You have to come up with something newer, maybe more extreme or dangerous to capture these people because the dopamine is so strong and it's kicking in and the effect of it. You know what I mean? So how do you like combat that? You know what I mean? How do you combat, like, do you have to have balance? Do you think you should be more spiritually grounded?
You definitely have to, cause like
or it doesn't really matter.
No, it definitely matters, cause like for me, like since like I'm a streamer and stuff like that, right? You know, like trying to like grow and all that, like it was pretty much hard, right? And like at first, like when I first started, you know, like I was just doing it for fun, right? But then now since like you know, like I have like a community now, and like I have a lot of people that I impacted now, it's like it's kind of hard, cause then majority of the time they're like, yo, stream. They always feeding for next stream, right? Yeah. And then on top of that too, now is like, don't get me wrong, like I love to stream, but then it's like if people are gonna keep feeding on you for you to stream, it's gonna take a toll on you, because then now you're, in a way, it's gonna feel like it's a chore. You don't want it to feel like a chore, because I'm not gonna lie, there's sometimes like I lost motivation. I'm like, I don't want to stream no more, since like, oh, you guys don't want me to stream every single day. I'm like, I'm starting losing motivation. I'm not feeling. Exactly. I want it to feel like it's
like it's genuine.
Yeah, it's a genuine. It's a genuine. It's a passion. It's a hobby. Not it's a chore. Like, you know.
Right.
So then, like just like we said, like, you know, you have to be balanced with it. And on top of that too, which like a lot of streamers too, where I honestly started to notice too, especially with like smaller streamers, because like when you like a smaller streamer, you kind of want to collab with different smaller streamers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I've done that from the past, you know, like I try to help out other streamers, right?
Yeah.
And then I honestly started to notice a lot of smaller streamers are honestly just there for the money. Like I remember I was collabing with this one girl. I'm not gonna drop names, but literally like I was trying to like help her hit affiliate, right?
Yeah.
Which what affiliate is like once you hit affiliate on Twitch, that's where you can run ads on your live stream, and then you can also get like donations and subs where it helps you get paid. Right. So I was already affiliate, and I was trying to get her to affiliation, right?
Yeah.
And
You
then
hear that? Hit up your boy Tokyo.
Appreciate it, bro.
On
Appreciate
Twitch.
it. Yeah. But like I was affiliate, I was trying to help her, right? And then, like literally like the whole entire time, like she was just only there for my viewers and for my people. And then she was like, "Oh guys, please sub to me, do this, please donate to me." I'm like, bro, like you're doing too much, Like me personally, like I truly like hate sometimes when like my community like donates to me because I feel bad. Because like when they donate to me, you kind of feel like, okay, like you got to get back, right? And like I tell them all the time, like it's not necessary too, right? Which that's where respect and remorse also comes in, right? Because you want to inspire them and like not just be like, okay, you're only here for the money and the clicks, right? That's why like what you just said, like it's like the yin and yang. You got to balance it with respect and remorse, and also like reality. And that's what like I kind of try to do, and like also trying to like inspire these kids. Whereas like I'm not just here for the clicks and all that. I want to. If I can do it, like if I can just pick up a camera and just press record and live stream, y'all can do it too.
Yeah.
And I get what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? People are following you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you don't want this just to be just business. You know what I mean? I have a goal. I'm trying to reach that goal, and it's just strictly business. My focus is just you know what I mean, being whatever your goal is, being popular, famous. You know what I mean? Growing fast, being the next Kai or whatever the case is. You're not trying to build it like that. You're trying to build it different.
Exactly.
Because you're built different, right? So you're trying to you coming from you come from a different cloth. You know what I'm saying? So now they see that. You know what I mean? They see like, yo, you're just really just trying to have fun with it.
Exactly.
And if people are gonna follow you, you want to build that healthy community where you know what I mean. Yeah, you're easily accessible. They can get engaged with you, but at the same time, you know what I mean. You want them to have fun.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You want a healthy community. You know what I mean? And if you get big from that, you know what I'm saying? You get big from that.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like of course, like I want to get big with it.
Right, but you don't want it to bore you out.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want it to bore you out and like make it feel like okay, you're just only here for business wise. Like I want it to be fun. Of course, I would love to like blow up with it because like imagine like something you're passionate about, you can blow up with it. Like, for example, like for Jovan, you love photography. Imagine you blow with that, you have your own career. What are you into?
I'm into games, sports.
Exactly, you're into sports. Imagine one day, you become big and become like a sports influencer and you start doing like that, right? You want to be like a passion, have fun, but also, you can have that type of career and that type of empire, right? That's what I want to do, right? Like my passion is like streaming or music, right? I want to start that empire to the point where it's like, it's something I love to do, but I could also help on my community and help my family out and like, move my mom out or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with a lot of these influencers nowadays, it's like they don't really care to see that.
Yeah.
Which I guess is also impacts on like how they're raised up,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has to do a lot of you talk about the environment, what I mean? Your environment create your condition, right? And a lot of these people are not in the most healthiest environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you become a byproduct of your environment.
Yeah, 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? So now when you see these people, you can't really like, if you know what I mean? Like, but then again, this is where the spiritual, the balance kicks in, right?
Yeah.
You understand like, yo, like this guy is the way he is, not because of who he is, but maybe because he's a byproduct of an environment that he grew up in. You know what I mean? And he only knows, he's now a product of that environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta like sometimes, you know what I mean? It humbles you when you can really like look into things like that and say like, you know what I mean? And it kind of helps you too because you can see who's who and who's not who, right?
Nah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That is definitely for sure. No, that's definitely for sure.
Right, like, you could beyond the words and beyond the action, you can actually see, you know what I mean, who the person is. So, you gotta stick to who you are, you know what I mean?
No, exactly what you said in the car the other not too long ago too. Where like, always have your circle small. You don't know who's truly gonna backstab you,
right?
Like that, right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing too with like trying to be like a influencer because you don't really know who is truly want to see you succeed and push you to their full potential, or just only there for the bag. Right?
Yeah.
So I always say, man, you are, in your circle, man, you are gonna,
which is hard.
There's always gonna be one guy, that one guy.
It's hard too, though.
Always looking for trouble.
Yeah.
His mouth he's always the loudest.
Yeah.
He's always looking for trouble.
Sell you
he's
out
always
and
want
shit.
attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always when your circle is big, there's always gonna be that one guy.
Yeah.
But if your circle is very small, you know what I mean?
There's always gonna be that loyalty.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be people who's like, yo, I'm your day one.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more day ones when your circle's small. You know what I mean?
That is big, yeah.
And if your circle is very, very big, you're gonna have a lot of that one guy.
Yep. Yep.
So it's very interesting, man, and this was a very great topic. You know what I mean? We're about to close it out. I hope you guys enjoy kicking it with us. All the topics that we covered today.
Yeah.
Any last word?
Nothing much, but appreciate you guys tuning in. Can't wait to see you guys next episode. And we'll keep you trying to get out weekly on both YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts will be available there as well.
That's right. We're coming out on different platforms, so stay tuned for that. Any last words, big guy?
Other than that, nothing else. It's just like what everyone said. Thank you guys for coming by. Make sure to like, subscribe. Keep in touch. We're gonna try to post new videos, new podcasts weekly.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, thank you guys for coming by and listen to the end. And I truly appreciate that. So thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful night, wonderful day, and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Right, subscribe. Hey, say that then.